it up for Polo. You guys get the likes up.
Yes.
Polo is here in the building. Finally get a chance to connect with Polo. Polo, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm just chilling.
That's what's
Good.
up.
Yeah. So Polo, my first question is, how did you hear about the case? And I'm sure you've been hearing these questions again and again, but can you tell us again, how were you introduced about Tyrone case?
Okay, when I first heard about it, that's when they were doing a rally up in Gainesville. This one Lay Rich had orchestrated the get together under the bridge. That's when I had posted the receipt showing that Tasha and Natalie had reached out to Lay. What so about I said, can they join to come up under the bridge? They made it seem like to the world that they orchestrated all this rally and stuff. They didn't do shit. They lying or whatsoever.
Mm.
So when Lay had reached out to me because that Lay know I do a lot of this stuff on platforms like going back and forth. I didn't did a lot of the expose and shit. I didn't did a whole lot of content on Facebook by different scenarios. So when she brought it to my attention, that's when the father ended up communicating with me because I got a big thing is that I don't like reaching out to people. I like for them to reach out to me. I just like when people wanted me to reach out about the situation in Broward with Drea and then the Kendrick situation. Like I told they family members, the family, direct family, gotta reach out to me. I don't like just jumping on because it seems like you part of a bandwagon. So if they don't come directly, then I don't want to be a part of it. So that's how that ended up happening. That's how I ended up meeting Tyrone, conversating with Tyrone, and Tyrone becoming one of my biggest supporters that turned my biggest up.
Mm. So let me get this right. So it seems like this lady named Lay, she is like the head of it as orchestrating a lot of stuff.
Well, she orchestrated the thing up on the bridge, and that will open up the next door. You know what I mean? Like
Gotcha.
everybody played a piece. So when it came to the part of Facebook, that's when it was brought to me. Like you had other people speaking on it. I'm not gonna knock them for that. You know what I mean? Before as a person, they knew that might put their boots on the ground and actually, you know what I mean, come see about what's being said. That's why it came to Polo.
Yeah. I mean, you took it to a whole different level. Your style is none like no other. I didn't even put you in a category with the rest of us just because you do so much and you do different things. So you cannot be put with the rest of us. That's why I didn't understand. I didn't think you were a blogger. I thought you were something else like an investigator.
Yeah, nah, I'm not gonna necessarily say I'm an investigator, but I have did my own case. When it comes to a lot of stuff that I've been involved in, I do all my footwork. Like you can't count on the system to do the right thing. You can't count on your lawyer to do the right thing. Like when it comes to you, you gotta stand on business by yourself. And I have learned that. And what made me get so close to the case is because it's similar happened. The same thing happened to him, similar happened to me. And it's just coincidence that the person that's involved originally evolved from the same place that his girlfriend from. You know what I mean? It's crazy, you know what I mean? But shit, but they from the same places.
So Lay told Tyrone, hey, you need to reach out to this guy named Polo because he can really put boots on the ground. He can find out what's really going on.
Facts.
So when Tyrone reached out to you, how was that? How did he hit you in a DM? Did he call you?
Yeah, we are
Tell us.
all our communication through Messenger. They were Messenger at first, and then I ended up getting his phone number. So I call him directly here. We FaceTime majority of the time. Like even when I used to go live, it's you know what I mean. We FaceTime. Or when I was communicating with the family, when I met the family, who all the grandma, the aunties, the cousins, everybody, I make them do FaceTime right in their living room.
Got it. Okay, got it. So how
Yeah, it
did
wasn't no.
Tyrone
Go ahead.
ask you? How did he ask you? How was his approach?
Oh, it's like when I'm icing. I like to ice questions. Once you reach out, I'm icing questions. So I like to know the understanding what's going on, what happened, or whatsoever, and what people feel. But all the energy was towards one person or whatsoever. Even when I finally ended up meeting the auntie, all the energy, all the narrative was towards one person. And one thing I learned is that anytime people put too much on one person, you really gotta look around. Know what I
Mm.
mean? You just can't just take it at face value, especially without no proof. But you know, this what I signed up for. You know what I mean? It's a little personal to me. Or whatsoever happened close to me. The person that's allegedly involved is from the same place, you know what I mean? The person who set me up or what's the hell. One of them cases I still fight today, 5 years later. Um, and it just hit a little different. So I was more motivated, you know what I mean? Because like I was with my situation. Like I walk my shit down. I ain't gonna see military, ain't no military secret. I walk my shit down. They ain't do the footwork like they supposed to. I walk my own shit down because you know what I mean? If a bitch set me up and play with me, I gotta take full charge of that. I gotta put my boots on the ground. I gotta stand on business. And that's what I did.
Right.
And that's
Okay.
what I did and everything they got on me because I put the footwork in. Or
Right.
whatsoever hell. They'll tell you that up top. They'll tell you that in Georgia, ain't no military secret. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you want justice for yourself, you gotta go get it. You want justice for your relative, you gotta be the front soldier. Know what I mean? Like you gotta be part of that movement. I tell people, if you want justice, you gotta understand it's exchange. You must give to get.
Got it.
You
Well,
can't just get justice by giving.
some people may say, well, you know what? It seems like all of you guys on the same accord. You, the Miss Jackson lady, the Natasha. Is there any way that you all can come together and work
No,
together? Okay.
no.
Why
We
is
can't
that?
we can't work together because instead of you doing your job professionally, the first thing you did on your live was to type polo. You didn't come around and be like, you know what? You know what I mean? I might need to network with Polo. I might need to talk to him because he might be the one that could blend in or figure out certain things or he might already know certain things. He might know more than what he's saying. And let me clear something up. I do. I do. And the whole object is not revealing everything because you gotta know who you dealing with. You gotta know what type of people
Absolutely.
you dealing with. So if you reveal everything or whatsoever that you have accumulated, and be like, damn, you know what I mean? Like these people really
They got a bullet on you.
come on, man. It's not only that. When you start figuring out certain things, then you start realizing that people was lying. Nobody
Right.
expected Polo to investigate. Nobody expected any blogger to have boots on the ground. Most bloggers are known for just sharing information. Nobody actually put in the work. So that's what made it different. You know what I mean? You actually had a person that, you know what? I ain't just meant to just share information. Let me fight check. Let me cross reference. You know how many cases went unsolved because nobody actually put boots on the ground. Nobody actually did what they say they're gonna do. Everybody
Hmm.
just shared information. So with this situation, I did it different because it was personal to me.
Got it.
And the only
So,
reason why I started subscribing was because some fact is it was too many bed bugs. It was too many reporting the page, too much this. So now, bitch, if you gonna pay to come in these chambers, then you deserve to hear something.
Right. Absolutely. I agree.
now, when we move more into you and Natasha's situation, can you let us know the ups and the downs? How did you guys start to come? Because it from us, it looked like you guys were, just a great partnership.
Okay, in the beginning it was like that. But then then Tweety done played. Tweeter done played because remember back in the time I went live, I gave a timestamp. I gave the exact time of death, when people came up, when people left, and then when the mother came up there and she decided to ice them to keep them on the machine till the following day. So I broke down every time step of when people came, when people left, who came up the first time. Just like with Jason. Jason came up there with the mama the first time, but the second time he didn't or whatsoever. But I also had mentioned that somebody else was already in the hospital. Know what I mean? Before then, I just didn't elaborate on who or whatsoever because I told people I said I need that receipt. I just gotta stamp it. I don't want to say nothing just yet until I stamp it or whatsoever. So just hold that thought. We gonna come back to it or whatsoever. So, but also in that same live, I corrected the narrative. I posted a Wawa video that showed 4 people there. And it looked fast. You would think that ain't nobody there. But if you slow it down, then you will see Lulu in the bike, Joe on the driver's side, somebody on the passenger side, and somebody behind the car. You will see a total of
Yeah,
4 people.
you did all that because we
Okay.
saw that video, we ain't see shit. But you
Okay.
did
So
it and we saw something different. Go ahead.
yeah, because I had my little team of hitters, man, they very raw. Like we sit down, we'll put in, we put in countless amount of hours and time, and we want to make sure we wasn't missing something. Cause sometimes when the speed going too fast, you'll miss something. So you gotta slow down footage and make sure you don't miss nothing at all. So that's what happened. So when I changed the narrative, it was like, She was like, people, this when Tweety Dumb is the auntie, loudmouth. So when she came, she was like, people are saying, I need you to correct this narrative. People saying that, oh, my child was involved and this and that. But only reason why I wasn't in the hospital was because I was waiting on him to get off work. I corrected that. That's where you used me at. See, I didn't realize you used me until down the line. So, but I always put a mental note that why she so persistent on me correcting that because I stalled. And you want to sometimes you gotta stall to see how people energy level is and see how much they push you to change something. Oh, well, so I changed it. And I put with people, I told people, I said, well, that's not accurate because this what she was and this is the reason why she didn't make it. Whole time, you never made it to the hospital. You never came up there when you were talking about 6 carloads, not one time was you in that hospital. You
Why
was
didn't she
never
go
there.
to the hospital?
She never went. Her narrative was
Why?
this her story. Her story was that she was waiting on her child to get off work. Well, this
And
is
she
your
was
nephew.
babysitting.
Yep, this is your nephew, and he's on his deathbed or whatsoever. You telling me that you couldn't get up there with everybody else, but you the voice, you the main person speaking, but wasn't there. You the main person speaking that ain't seen nothing. You the main person that put all the allegations on somebody and you wasn't even present at all. Not
You
one
better
time.
preach.
Not one time was you ever present. You never stepped foot into Gainesville into the rally.
Hmm.
That was the first time and last time until now that you ever been to Gainesville when it pertained to your nephew. So when I started digging, I realized that I found out that where that storyline she was saying, it wasn't so much, it wasn't true. It wasn't so much true. You wasn't waiting. You wasn't waiting or whatsoever because the simple fact is you weren't waiting on him to get out of work. So when I realized you lied to me, I'm like, well, you got to correct this because you pushed this narrative. You made it seem as this was a fight and this was the truth. And then I find out that you're lying. I say the right thing for you to do is to correct the error. Damage control, correct your lies. So you fail to correct this. So I get time, I don't say nothing else about it, but I'm sitting back and I'm like, man, is you going to correct that? You lie about that. Then I find out about the money situation. I say, well, you saying that $250,000 got transferred. I said, the world believing this because of you. I say that, but that's not true. $250,000 never got transferred. Matter of fact, you know what I mean? It wasn't really nothing in that account that had the sister name attached to it because money came up missing. I say it was already in progress of closing that account. That's why they didn't find out until after the fight. I say, well, but I'm telling them to correct these lies long time ago. Or whatsoever, she never corrected it. Nobody never corrected it. So therefore, my next phase, the man transparency inside my group, that was a transparency move. The man transparency need receipts because now they're accepting donations from the people. They're accepting donations. Anytime you accept donations, you must be transparent. No matter how much people say that you don't owe an explanation or you don't have to show proof. Well, guess what? Y'all condemn Lulu and everybody else with no proof. So how you think you feel? And y'all main argument was that this and they did this and they did that and they ain't show this and how you take this person's word without showing receipts, without telling you how you just gonna take her word, without going to go see for yourself. Well, how you expect the world to take your word and you ain't showed not one receipt?
Mm.
You know what I mean? So when people be like, why we keep going back and forth about receipts? Because receipts is the truth. You can't get justice until you weed out the lies. And the only way you weed out the lies is provide the receipts. Provide the truth. Just like you discredit, and then you got this cabbage patch telling people that, oh, by trying to discredit John Doe. How? When it's the person that was on the scene. I posted a timestamp when he called the police. It lasted for 4 minutes. You know what I mean? Because when you pay attention to the timestamp that's on the pizza box, or whatsoever you pay timestamp that when he called the police, that's the exact amount of time it takes for you to leave that place right there for the pickup, because that's when it's done. For you to leave around, come around that corner, come all the way down, all the way down, on the reach that breeze. So the timestamp of him calling the police around 5:45. He was on the phone 4 minutes with the police, and that's when they arrived. Because you gotta stay on the phone until the ambulance arrived. They came from the ACA way. The ambulance came from ACA. That's the opposite way. That's the opposite
Hmm.
way of where Lulu say she was. It's the opposite way. So
Exactly.
so
Hmm.
it's totally the opposite way of what so when they was saying all this, and then when these people, and then hold on. Then when these people figured out that Polo actually was paying attention and Polo really looking into things. Just like when they say, "Oh, I seen him inside Papa John. I seen him inside the hotel. We seen the video. We seen all this." You're lying. I brought this to your attention. I said, "Well, how you seen the video when I talked to the person that's over the hotel, well, that be here, and they say never showed none of y'all the footage."
Mm, 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 mm.
So then I said, well, Papa John's, I showed people we was at Papa John's, but then I get the
Mm-hmm.
contact of the director, the district manager, and I'm trying to
Right.
find out, well, anybody show anybody these footage or these camera footages? Because, remember this incident that was going around or whatsoever? That was a lie. You never
Oh
seen no camera
God.
footage inside Papa John's. Or whatsoever.
What?
So I brought it to their attention. I said, well, y'all got the world thinking y'all seen this.
Mm.
Remember, there was her loud mouth ass on that video when she told people she
Ooh.
seen him standing up straight, seen him on camera. He ain't had
Yep,
this, and
that was
then
the
they went
first
on.
video she
Yep.
put out.
Yep, and then they went
You
on to
right.
saying that, oh, he ain't had no mules on his bike, no none of this stuff, no sweat. That was the daddy. The daddy made a video on the video saying with no sweat, ain't no bruise, no nothing on his body or
Right.
whatsoever. It was just, his bike, what's it called? Right now the case is closed. Let me see, can I drop this receipt? Now, can I post a picture or something? Because I got the picture of his bike. I have removed the surrounding parts. Know what I mean? So just in case the kids are watching or whatsoever, anybody paying attention, but you physically could see his bike and see the swelling, see the red marks. You could see everything. You
Well,
could
let's
see
not do
physical
it.
swelling.
I believe you, Polo, but I wouldn't. I let's not do it right now. If we could, we'll wait. But I believe you have that picture. Are you gonna drop it on your page?
I'm gonna drop it, most likely probably drop it inside
Okay.
my private chambers or something like that. No, man, I know people that say, man, Polo, just think about the kids. Well, they should be thinking about the kids when they lying. See, when you lie, kids can't get closure. When you
That's
lie,
right.
kids can't get the proper answers. So when they tell Polo chill and don't drop some, well, think about the lies that kids are out here believing or whatsoever when they could have been put an end to this. But the failure to put an end to it is to keep the donations coming in. Because remember, let me remind you, let me show you something. All this didn't really start, and the rebellions ain't really start in this movement until I posted my subscribers. And not only that, and when the people start donating money. When people start donating money, that when the shift began. Because in
Yep,
the
you're
beginning,
right.
wasn't no donations going on. But when Polo started posting on his pay by donation, even with the baby mama, I posted donations. They wasn't getting no money on that GoFundMe account. So,
They
know what I
sure
mean? We
right.
started posting the gas app, and that's when all my supporters started donating because in order for them to say Dro supporters, they were Polo supporters. Just like Gigi got her supporters, we made them Dro supporters. They wasn't just Dro supporter because let's be honest, y'all don't never go live. The homeboys, nobody went live to tell the story. Nobody. Know what I mean?
500 family
If you look at
members deep.
Come on, man. If you look at the auntie, when have you went live to talk about this story? Day in and day out. But this your favorite nephew. When have anybody who screamed justice for Joe on that side actually went live and talked about this situation countless amount of times? It wasn't nothing but the bloggers. It
That's
wasn't but the
right.
bloggers. Y'all came to the internet and asked the internet to give y'all answers, to bring awareness, to spread this case because y'all felt someone right. But what day did y'all have that y'all sat on y'all page outside y'all time and talked about this case?
Hmm.
Mm.
Not
Come
one
on.
time did y'all. Not one time did y'all. So when Peter homeboys get mad, how you gonna get mad
Walk
if
them
you
down.
think Polo? If you think Polo intimidated by you, got the wrong idea. I would lay down, knocking your ass off and putting you in the ground.
Ooh.
Or whatsoever.
No,
I don't know
Polo,
what they
she sent
thinking.
me to do it.
I
And
don't
then
know.
she backstabbed me.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? And this is the thing. The thing about this whole situation is that when have y'all took the time to actually fight for y'all homeboy? Only thing y'all said was we gonna wait on the police and see what
Mm.
they say. Well, what the police did compared to
Come
what y'all did.
on. Come on. You better say it.
What y'all did? What did y'all do? Is this somebody y'all care about? And telling me I don't know him like y'all know him, then why did I not see y'all stand up for him? Why did I not see y'all protesting, rallying on your live, bringing awareness, know what I mean, for him? Why I don't see this? I should be able to see this, or what the world should see this. Why is the outside putting more energy, more focus on fighting for a cause than the people that claim they was around him daily? But y'all say them people wrong? How are they wrong? You know what I mean? How they wrong when they screaming the same thing y'all supposed to be screaming? Y'all barely even post that on y'all page. Them words don't come across y'all screen daily, justice for nobody. Y'all living y'all life. Y'all still here. Y'all don't care. It's not about what you say, it's your actions that follow.
Right.